Buenos dias, amigos! I've made it to the capital of a country which has been on my bucket list for a very long time. I've made it to Lima, the capital of Peru. Behind me, guys, is the Pacific Ocean. Check it out. Beautiful, innit? Now, it's a bit grey. It's always kind of grey here in Lima. I've been here now for 2 days. The weather never changed. It never rains. It's always been warm. It's always like 19, 20 degrees. So, quite good temperatures. And yeah, it's just always grey, but we don't care. It's alright. And yeah, guys, the area which I'm in is called Miraflores, which is like the upscale neighborhood here on the coastline of Lima, in the south of the city, which is an area renowned for its nightlife. It's the nightlife center of the city, and it's also like the most expensive part of the city, because it's the rich area of the city, and it's the area, as so often in Latin American cities, which is, by the way, one thing I don't like about Latin America, by the way, which is the area in which they try to cram all the tourists in by putting all of the hostels and cheap hotels in that particular area, so that all the tourists and visitors come into this area of town, where everything is quite expensive. I mean, not expensive compared to Western Europe or to the US, but I've got to admit that food here, the prices of food and drinks in this area of town are quite expensive compared to Argentina and to Colombia. So for Latin American standards, it is quite an expensive area. And not far away from here, guys, is another area crammed in between all the rich neighborhoods, which is called Surquillo, which apparently is a bit of a poorer neighborhood, right in between the rich areas of Miraflores and San Isidro. And yeah, apparently it's a lot cheaper, a lot more authentic, and a lot more local. So, as so often, guys, I'm in the need of some cheap food. I haven't had breakfast really today. I've had my cheap hostel breakfast, which is alright, but yeah, it's not that satisfying. So I'm quite hungry, I'm starving, and also I could do with a beard trim and a haircut again. It's been a long time since that haircut back in Buenos Aires when I arrived in South America. So guys, without further ado, join me as we explore Surquillo. I've been to this historic center yesterday, which is in the north of the city, the northern part of town, and let me tell you this, quite beautiful, super authentic, worth a visit, but everyone here tells you that the historic center is only good during the day, and that when the sun goes down, you should absolutely leave the area. That's what my Uber driver told me when he dropped me off there. And I can tell you this, guys, when it was 5 p.m, it turned out to be a bit sketchy. I mean, the historic center of Lima is quite sketchy at night, I can tell you this. The area is filled with a lot of zombies, as I like to say. A lot of drug addicts, and it's much, much poorer. It's a different world compared to the south of the city, the rich south of the city in which we are right now. Check it out. The upscale neighborhood of Miraflores, which is renowned as one of the richest areas, not only of Lima, but of the whole of Peru, which, like most South American countries, is a gigantic country. And Lima is a gigantic city. 5 million people live here. And yeah, this is the rich area, and the tourist area, and the nightlife area. And check it out, guys, it really is. I can tell you this, the rest of the city looks kind of different. I can tell you this, Lima is much more laid back than Buenos Aires, and also than Mexico City. But the traffic here is horrendous, on the other hand. The traffic here is the worst I've seen in Latin America. It takes ages to get from one place to the other. Just bought myself a little water. With these temperatures, it's pretty essential to stay hydrated, guys. And right ahead of us is the Parque John F. Kennedy, the John F. Kennedy Park, a famous park here in Miraflores, around which the nightlife is basically centered of the city. Many bars, many clubs are around here. And why they chose the name John F. Kennedy for this park, I don't know. Really, I don't know. But maybe it's because so many Americans are hanging around here. Many gringos are hanging around here. This is basically the gringo area of the city. But check it out, guys. Beautiful nonetheless. There you have it, Parque John F. Kennedy. I'll get to a market, I'll be looking for a market in Surquillo. Because here, as you can imagine, it is a bit pricier. Still cheap, as I've said before, compared to Europe and to the US probably. I mean, at the restaurants, you get a ceviche for like a tasty, really good ceviche for like €8, something like $9. Depending the place, sometimes also €6, $7. And like rice meals, pasta meals you get for like, yeah, the same price, $7, $8. So it's not that cheap compared to Buenos Aires, but yeah, cheaper than Buenos Aires and Colombia. It's kind of difficult, right, isn't it? I mean, as much as I love Argentina, you have to say that the economy of Argentina is absolutely effed. And this is not the case for Peru, by the way. Peru is one of the richer countries of South America in regards to the economy now, or in regards to the people. Because €1 is only like 4 soles. So $1 is only a bit more than 4 soles. So it is quite a strong currency. It is actually stronger even than the Brazilian reales, I think they are called. And yeah, Lima here, Peru, obviously a huge country, gigantic country with lots of different regions and natural landscapes, but yeah, Lima, the capital on the coast, and the whole coastline actually, is like the richest part of the country, economically speaking, and also socially speaking. And recently, the country has obviously been going through a very rough patch with lots of protests against the government in place, because yeah, the government in place is hugely favored by the people here, the people of Lima and the people of the coastline of Peru, but not by the people, by the more rural population of the mountains and the jungle. And yeah, there's quite a huge disparison, or a huge difference in income and in way of life between Lima and the rest of the country. ¿Para allá? Ok, solo derecho.
Sí, o sea, 3 cuadras y cruzas la avenida grande.
Okay.
Y eso es el mercado de Surquillo.
Oh, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
Buen día. Check it out, guys. We've left Miraflores and we are about to enter Surquillo, which is right ahead of us. And it looks a bit more authentic already. And this, guys, right behind me, is home to the infamous traffic of Lima. Yesterday, when I went to the historic center by Uber, it took me nearly an hour to get back. Check it out, guys. And there I see a mercado. I see a market already. So let's check it out. Let's see whether we can get some food there. But this bridge here, this is so interesting. It's literally the border between Surquillo, which is right here, and Miraflores right there. You've got your fancy buildings over there and your local area over here. And what I like about Lima is the buses. Check out these old school buses, guys. And also, another cool thing about Lima, they've got Indian tuk-tuks here. I've never seen that in Latin America. It's pretty cool. Oh. And the traffic here, as I've said, is insane. Actually reminds me of Istanbul. judging by the sounds, it actually reminds me of India. I guess let's check out that market. Oh yeah, and one more thing, guys. When you come to Lima, the food is delicious, I've already said it. But you've got to love or to like fish. If you don't like fish, you've got a problem here. Of course, you've still got the option to eat chicken, like in every Latin American country, they also eat a lot of chicken here. But the main dish here, the main specialties, the main delicacies here are fish dishes. And well, I'm in the meat section. You should smell this. It smells like meat. Check out what we've got here. There's chicken. Here we can add some fish. Hola.
Cevichito, hermano, mira. Tengo ceviche, Pásame la carga.
Ceviche, ¿tú tienes ceviche? ¿Sí? Para más tarde, porque estoy mirando el mercado.
Pero vienes con tus amigos.
Right guys, this is what happens in Latin America when you get stopped by people. You don't be left alone. You need to talk all the time to people. But this market is actually huge. It didn't look as huge from the outside, but it's actually super huge, guys. And it's got 3 floors. Check it out. Everything is closed on this floor, apart from that lady's shop selling clothes, some underwear. Yeah, it's a huge place actually. I think I won't leave this market hungry. But it's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for a place, an authentic place to have some Peruvian food to show you guys. Not a restaurant, but a market. I like these places. And this one looks actually quite alright. Check it out. He's got ceviche. He's got rice. Yeah, I think I'll have a meal here at some place, because here's loads of places. Everything is closed down on this side, but then we've got this side as well. Hola, buenas. Sí, estoy mirando. Después voy a comer. Debo decidir qué lugar. Hey, todo es a 10 soles.
12, es 12, no es 12. Ahí está
12.
la colita es 12.
Pero todo es a 12 soles.
Todo es 12 soles.
Okay. Alright guys, I think I'll have a meal there, because super interesting. For €3, we got a menu. You got a menu here for €3. It's actually, wow. Back in the center, you've also got like in Miraflores, I always say center, but I mean Miraflores. Back in Miraflores, you've also got like cheaper places, cheaper small restaurants where more locals go, where you get like combinations like menus where you got like 2 or 3 meals together for €8, which is not a lot, but here you get the same for €3. Wow! So, I guess guys, I'll see you at the table. We'll have a good meal now. What I really like about these places here, like the place in which I am right now, is that they're super local. Like, you wouldn't find any tourists coming here. Like, there's only local people here. I'm the only white person here at the moment. I've got the impression that in the whole market I am the only white person. And the best thing is, it's not far away from Miraflores, from where all the gringos are. And check this out guys, I've just got myself, for the whopping price of €3, 2 meals, an entry, a starter and a main dish. And with this comes this huge bucket of juice. I think it's a kind of fruit juice which they drink here along with the ceviche, and I get it for free. Man, I'm getting more here for €3 than I get down in Miraflores for €8. It's incredible. Flipping incredible. Guys, let's have a taste of that juice. Check it out. It's tasty. Super tasty actually. Guys, check it out. My ceviche has arrived finally. Check it out how tasty it looks. Wow. You've obviously got to like fish to like this meal, but man, I'm buzzing. Let's put some lemon, well, squeeze some lemon onto that. Right guys, let's tuck in to this delicious looking ceviche. I'll give you my judgment. It's basically fish with some vegetables, and it's super tasty. Let's go for it. Check it out. Man, this is spicy. Oh, I told him spicy because if you know me personally, you know that I like spicy, but this guy's is super spicy. Man, one thing about Peru, when you think of spicy food, you think of Mexico, you think of India, but Peruvians, when you tell them spicy, they won't disappoint you guys. But yeah, love it. This is ceviche. I'm now gonna eat this, and I'll see you when the next part of my meal arrives. Provecho! You know guys that I'm not very good at food vlogs, but what I can tell you is, when you come to Peru, you obviously have to try ceviche, unless you don't like fish obviously. And as I, who love fish, I can tell you one thing. This right here is the best ceviche I've had in Peru so far, and I've had 3 so far. 3 or 4, might even be the 4th already that I've had. And they've all been good, but this is the best. Super spicy, super tasty, fresh fish, and actually quite filling. The plate might look super small, but it's actually super filling because of course fish, full of proteins, exactly what we need. So come to this place when you come to Lima. I think I'll come here every day now for the rest of my time in Lima. And I've got another meal coming up for the massive price, the massive expensive price of €3, all of it. People always say that Lima is expensive, and it is if you go to the wrong places, but as anywhere in the world, if you go to the right places, it is as cheap as any other huge city in South America, as we've just found out, or we are just finding out. Alright guys, the second part of my incredible €3 meal here has arrived. Check it out. My chicken breast with rice, frijoles, which is beans, and a little, what is it, onion salad. Guys, and the best thing of it all, this delicious maracuja juice. I'm not sure what maracuja means in English, so I've got to look that up and I'll write it under here when I do the editing, but yeah, he just filled it up. Guys, this is incredible. I won't ever, during my time in Lima, have any meal anymore down in Miraflores. I will always come here from now on. Always, every day. Check this out, guys. Guys, I am eating more here for €3 than down in Miraflores for €10. Absolutely incredible. Super good. Let's try the rice. Really good. Guys, let's give this a little Tabasco or whatever it is. A little taste, a little spicy taste. But guys, when in Lima, come to Surquillo market. You save a lot of money and you eat much more food than back down in Miraflores. To all of you tourists out there, all of you Americans, Canadians, Europeans coming down to Lima, don't stick around in Miraflores for food. Come here to this market. To my good friends, restaurant El Tanta. I'll be here every day from now. So let me enjoy my meal and I'll see you later, guys. Provecho y viva Peru. Right guys, I'm super filled right now. I ate more, I swear, it didn't look like a lot, but I ate more than any other time, any other meal I've had in the past 2 days. The past 2 days, I also ate like twice a day, but I never got as much as I got right now. For the cheapest price ever, €3. €3 for all of that. Guys, don't get yourself fooled. Don't get fooled when you come to Lima. This is the place, guys, where you should come for your lunch here in Lima. Now let's check out Surquillo. But our first, next piece of business now is find a good barbershop around here and get a little beard trim. Well, I can tell you guys already about Surquillo. First impressions is that it's completely different to Miraflores. I mean, you can see it for yourself. Super Latin. Also completely different, obviously, to Buenos Aires. And by the way, guys, you see this sign over there, Cerveza del Pacifico. Cerveza Pacifico, guys, by the way, is my favorite beer of Mexico. It's a Mexican beer, and Mexico's got hundreds of beers and tons of good ones actually, but Pacifico is the best. This one. And they're selling it here. But as I am in Peru right now, not in Mexico, I'm not going to drink Mexican beer here. I'm only drinking local beer. Right guys, I spotted a barbershop in the distance. This, by the way guys, is how the police looks like here in Lima. And I spotted a barbershop here in Surquillo, the poorest area of southern Lima. And I like it so far, I can tell you this. I like it much more than Miraflores. And here it is, guys. Looks super American. Check it out. Alright guys, I'm about to have a haircut and beard trim here. Much needed. Alright guys, my haircut is finished. And what are you thinking of my trim? Check it out. I'm super happy, to be honest. And if you guys wish to have the same trim as me, I happen to be in Lima, I want to look as good as I do now, make sure to visit Adam Causas Classic Barbershop. Here it is. Junior Dante 258 in Surquillo. Check it out. By the way guys, what has this haircut and beard trim cost me? It cost me a whopping 35 soles, which is about $9, like €8 and 70 cents or something. And yeah, it's not as cheap as Buenos Aires, to be fair, but it is super cheap in regards to Europe. In my country, I don't know how it is in your country if you're an American or some other kind of Western European, but in my country I pay more than triple that amount for the same kind of service. And yeah, I mean €8, $9 for a haircut and a beard trim, what more could you wish for? And so, I'm pretty sure that you can find even cheaper haircuts and beard trims in this city. Lima is huge. But I'm also pretty sure that on the other side, in Miraflores, where most tourists will go for their haircut and beard trim, they'll pay triple that amount. They'll pay European prices. Today we've proven that it is possible to come to Lima on the cheap. It is expensive, as everywhere. It is expensive when you go to the touristy upper class neighborhoods for your food and your drinks and everything. But if you come to a place like this, an area like Surquillo, you're gonna save tons of money. And also, if you like authentic places and don't want to just stay in touristy neighborhoods and see other white people, you should come here. It's just a 10-minute walk from where you'll probably stay when you come to Lima, because as I said before, all the hostels and all the cheap hotels are right over there in Miraflores. Nobody can pretend that Lima ain't beautiful. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Either in Lima or some other place in Peru. Adios amigos, or Causas, as they say here in Peru.